guys. So we all know how keto diets are like super trendy right now and low carb diets. I don't follow a keto diet, but I do like to eat low carb every once in a while. So a lot of the recipes have intrigued me, especially when I started to see things like flourless breads. I was like, how is that possible? And then in the pictures, like the texture of the bread looks so good. I was like, I have to try almond flour and start experimenting with it. And another thing that I've been seeing trending are keto Red Lobster biscuits. I love Red Lobster biscuits, so I had to give this a try. So when I think of Red Lobster biscuits, I think of ranch. That's what they taste like to me. They taste like cheese and ranch. So I was like, let me try and experiment and see if I could come up with something. And sure enough, these taste so good and they smell so much like the Red Lobster ones. So it's a nice little hack if you want some biscuits that are lower carb. Now, this doesn't mean it doesn't have any carbs. Almonds do have carbs. It's just a lot less than if you were to be using white flour. So almond flour is just ground up almonds. That's all it is. It doesn't have additional flour in it. It's just almonds. So we're gonna need some almonds for this recipe. Well, not almonds, but almond flour, butter, garlic powder, ranch. And in my opinion, this is like the star of the show. And I'm using the ranch dips, which is like just like the seasoning packet. And I swear when I smell this, I think of Red Lobster. We're gonna use baking powder and baking soda, sour cream, eggs, cheese, and then parsley, dried parsley, just for the top, just to give it that look, just so that when you see it, your eyes, get intrigued first. So this is super easy to make. What we're gonna do first is you need some cold butter. It has to be cold. So you're gonna drop that in there. And I'm gonna use a pastry cutter. This is a pastry cutter and it's used to cut butter into things like flour when you're making biscuits, pie dough, things like that. If you don't have one of these, you can use a fork. So what you're gonna do is you're literally just gonna press down on the butter and just cut it into the almond flour until it looks like little peas, the size of little peas. So now that the butter is cut in there, we're gonna pretty much add everything else. Gonna add the spices. Also in the ranch, I added a pinch of salt. Garlic, ranch, baking soda, baking powder. So go ahead and mix the powders in before adding the liquids. It'll help disperse it a little bit more evenly. Now we're gonna add the sour cream. The sour cream and the egg, those are our binders. That's what's gonna make this stick together. And the sour cream does add a good flavor too. Okay, we can add the egg at the same time as the sour cream. And we're just gonna mix these together and start incorporating the flour, the almond flour, into it. And it's gonna be pretty thick dough. Don't let that worry you. That's how it's supposed to be. And then now we're gonna add the cheese. I have mild cheddar here, but you can use any cheese that you like. I just wanted it to be orange so that they look like the Red Lobster ones. So just mix that in. So now the dough is ready, and it's crazy how it like resembles like real dough. Like this looks to me like a cake batter. It's just crazy. So what we're gonna do is just plop these onto a baking sheet. I have it lined with parchment so that they don't stick. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna measure out roughly about 2 tablespoons worth of dough. You don't have to be super precise. Just know that the bigger you make them, the longer they'll take to cook, etc. So we're just gonna take about roughly 2 tablespoons, and you just take 2 spoons and you just plop them on the parchment. These are called drop biscuits because it's not a biscuit dough that you would like normally roll out. And so it's a lot easier, less work in my opinion. So just put these on the parchment like that. I like to have them all rough like that because it makes for like crispy edges. Wanted to show you guys a close-up of them so you can get a better idea of what the texture looks like. Every time I make these, I get about 5 biscuits. If you want more, this recipe is really easy to double. So now what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit, just a little bit of more ranch seasoning on top, because I want these to be like intensely flavored, because that's just how the Red Lobster ones taste to me. They're salty and cheesy, so I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit. Be careful because this stuff is salty, so just a little bit on top. And then we're gonna go and sprinkle some of the cheese on top, so we have it in the dough and on top. And I'm pretty generous with the cheese on top, because I want it to be really cheesy. So you can, like I said, you can use whatever kind of cheese that you like. You pretty much can't go wrong. And now we're gonna add the dried parsley on top. This isn't gonna add pretty much any flavor. It's just for the look. So now they're ready to go into the oven. I'm gonna pop them in the oven for 16 minutes at 350 degrees. The biscuits are done. They make your whole kitchen smell so good. Yeah, let me try one. I like how they hold together. They don't break apart too easily. Yummy. Yum. They're so good. These are amazing. You have to try them. I had to just stop talking so I could eat. The written version for the recipe will be on my website, eatingitoutblog.com. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.